It began with a rumble that swiftly grew to a deafening roar. Pale, despairing eyes turned to the roiling skies above Shadespire. A sickly green maelstrom streaked with boiling energy and shrieking tempests. The forlorn populace had suffered all manner of torments during their incarceration within this nightmarish place, but they had never seen such cataclysmic event. All knew at once that something momentous and terrifyingly powerful had struck the city between realms. The ground shook and broke apart into grinding teeth of glass. Walls crumbled. Hailstorms of crystals were sent hurling through the air, propelled by a rushing tempest of magic. Entire sections of the mirrored city collapsed in a refractive avalanche, torn apart by erupting geysers of spirit energy. Gigantic skulls of living flame lit the streets, engulfing anything in their path, and in the gloomy depths of the city, in the underground laboratories of the ancient cataphrines and the dank, lightless catacombs beneath, ethereal shapes crawled their way into the city from the etheric void. The same deity that had cursed Shadespire to its grim fate worked this destruction. In his search for unquestionable dominance of all things, Nagash had unleashed the horror of the Shayish Necroquake, a profane ritual assigned to gain control over the realm of death and swell the power of amethyst magic in all corners of the mortal realms. Yet, at the final culmination of this spell, the powers of chaos had corrupted Nagash's great work. The Necroquake did indeed unleash a tidal wave of necromantic energy, but it also threw the metaphysical laws of magic into disarray. Spells and incantations lingered long after their energy should have dissipated, hungrily devouring brittle matter of reality. Raging storms of ectoplasmic energy tore across the realms, tearing down cities and incinerating thousands. Even the mirrored city, hidden in the prenumbral domain between Algo and Hirsch, was not safe from this turmoil. Magic had breached the city's enchanted walls and pierced the layers of obfuscation that had kept Shadespire as little more than a whispered tale of dread and horror for so many years. Across the realm, the eyes of mages, visionaries, and avaricious beings were drawn to the strange prison of illusions and madness, and the countless mysteries and treasures that it concealed. One by one, disparate beings began to claw their way through breaches in the skin of reality, emerging into Shadespire. In turn, the disparate souls already trapped within its borders began to see flickers of the outside world bleeding through Shadespire's veil of illusory magic, images of distant cities and far-flung lands, almost tangible, yet always agonizingly out of reach. The God King's Sigmar initial forays into the ruins of Shadespire had met with disaster. The hammers of Sigmar, first among the God King's grand storm hosts, had lost many warriors during an ambush by chaos-worshipping raiders, and as they battled through the time-worn remnants of the city, more had disappeared, seemingly into thin air. The storm host's commander reported back to Azerheim that a curse lay over Shadespire, a malicious enchantment that was spiriting away those who entered its borders. To unbind this enchantment, Sigmar dispatched an elite force of Stormcast Eternals from his secretive sacrosanct chambers, arcane champions who brought with them the power of the celestial storm. Led by the veteran knight incantor, Averon Stormsire, and well-versed in the ways of fell magic, these scholars identified the Loki of the curse that had claimed Shadespire. Cursed gateways and malevolent haunted artifacts crafted from corrupted shade glass that dragged the unwary into a hidden realm of torment and madness. Realizing that the only way to end this ancient evil was to enter the mirrored city, Sigmar's agents willingly stepped through one of these dark portals, determined to see the God King's will done or die in the attempt. Nagash, already filled with cold fury at the corruption of his great ritual and the disruption of his perfectly ordered plans, was further incensed to discover trespassers straying into his domain. Such bold transgression required a fitting punishment. Reaching his dominating will into the mirrored city, Nagash located a bitter aura of hatred and self-pity emanating from the lowest levels of the city. There lay a sprawling subterranean dungeon, the NIGHTVAULT. During the height of the city's power, The Cataphragms had locked away those who had sought to subvert or disrupt their search for knowledge. Rivals, thieves, and would-be conquerors. Over the years, the dungeons were filled with thousands of these dissidents, and the night vaults slowly expanded. Additional levels were constructed deep below the earth, lightless catacombs, patrolled by the Cataphragms' soul-powered automatons. There were unsettling rumors regarding what went on in those deep, dark places. Some whispered that the Cataphragms were using their prisoners as subjects in strange rituals and experiments, attempting to master the transferal and manipulation of a mortal's soul essence. At the time of the city's fall, none could say how many unfortunate beings occupied the dungeon's many lightless cells. These rivals had been broken and tormented at the hands of their gaolers over the course of many years, the most infamous of their number entombed within shade-glass prison chambers so that they would suffer for eternity. These wretched souls still lingered, and the great necromancer saw in them the perfect tool to wrest back control of Shadespire. Nagash broke open the chains and enchantments that bound these shackled spirits. Though he had no intention of granting them freedom, they would find no peace at the God of Death's hand. Instead, he shaped the Nightvault's bitter and hateful denizens to better suit his needs, giving them forms of spectral matter and weapons to freeze the heart of their victims. These spirits were then granted the freedom to stalk the shadow-shrouded streets of Shadespire. Yet Nagash ensured that they retained a memory of their long agony, leaving them haunted by the pains of injuries and tortures long past. Thus did the great necromancer ensure the wretched creature's hatred and jealousy of the living would never fade. Order would be restored in the Mirrored City at any cost. This vengeful spirit army commenced the cleansing of any outsiders foolish enough to stray within the city's borders. All intruders would be dragged to the Night Vault and imprisoned for their insolent crimes. The spectral dead delighted in the chance to inflict the same torment they had suffered upon the living, and the streets of Shadespire soon echoed to the sounds of terrified screams and cruel, mocking laughter.
This is Mats again, chiming in to thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment, and to not miss out on future content, ring the bell as well. And if you really liked this video, feel free to click the thanks button just below this video. And if you want to support me even further, you can now become a channel member and claim the title of Critical Focus Fan. Until next time, take care, bye.